Hey, what's going on, guys? Kitsune TCG here. Just thought I'd go ahead and record the deck profile for what I took to a regional yesterday. Can't take credit for coming up with this. If you're familiar with Bortles, he actually made a video on this, I think actually two now, a little while back, and I'd been playing around with it here and there, and I finally decided to kind of take a build of it to a regional. I went X2, so I didn't get to top, but I learned a lot about the deck, made a few misplays, and a few things I would change for the deck moving forward. But overall, if you enjoy Traptrix, it's a really fun build. You don't really miss out too much on your normal summon. I'll kind of go through here and show you how and why. We'll go ahead and start with that main deck. So you only play 8 Traptrix monsters. So we've got the 3 Myrmelio, 2 Mantis, 2 Dionea, and then 1 Vesiculo. So Myrmelio obviously is going to be the main one that you want to normal summon typically. Here, as long as you're opening a name, it's totally fine. You know, if you have the adventurer package, awesome. You know, you typically are going to end on a pretty nice board. Otherwise, you know, then definitely the effects matter a little bit more, but you're typically seeing a combination of the two. So we've got the 3 Parallel Exceed. Now this is really nice. I think in a lot of builds this would be something that I would often see hit by a hand trap. Obviously if they have an Imperm or Veiler, it going chain 1 and Fateful being chain 2 doesn't matter much, but you know, against Ash, it definitely is going to matter. So love this. And then by far, you know, the best card in the deck is Dimension Shifter. It just wins so many games. You definitely want to main it because you just want to see it as often as possible. It does upset some of your plays, so for Rafflesia, if you summon that, it does have to send the trap to grave, so that doesn't work under Dimension Shifter, but usually it's a turn ender anyway, so I still don't mind sometimes putting up Rafflesia when I'm just going first and I'm not sure what I'm playing, just because it will protect Sarah for that turn, so I can make sure I'm getting more value turn 3 moving forward. Other than that, you know, then you're kind of free to go into Dweller or whatnot. So definitely a must-have in the deck. The 3 Water Enchantress. Obviously, you're going to run 3 Maxus out for the Adventure Engine. That's why you got the 1 Griffin Rider. And then as far as the rest of it goes, you know, you're playing the 3 Right, the 1 Fateful, and the 1 Dracoback. And then we're just playing 3 Prosperity for consistency, you know, just because sometimes, you know, because you are only running 8 Traptrix, you might not see one, or you might not see the adventure package, so you might just need to find something else there. Sometimes you're just using it for Ash bait, or, you know, maybe you're able to look for a Parallel or a Shade Brigandine if you need that, or, you know. So, definitely a great card. Deck is a lot of fun, like I said, overall. I did really well against Tier. I won both my matchups against Tier, and then I drew 1. So I didn't lose to Tier. I think my only issue I found was Spright and then Exosister. I think are going to be kind of the main hiccups for this deck, because Exosister wants to do a very similar thing to Traptrix, being more of a control deck. Right now, they kind of just do it a little bit better. It's a little bit more consistent for them. And then Spright just kind of ignores a little bit of what you do. I'll have to see post Banlist. This is obviously prior, so they still did have Ronin. I'll have to see how well that holds up after. So we've got 3 Imperm, 3 Shade Brigandine. We play 3 Solemn Strike, 2 Compulse. This will probably be the one thing that I would change. So I've got 2 Ice Dragons, 2 Gravedigger, and 1 Floodgate Trap Hole. I would probably remove the Compulse and put in a 3rd Gravediggers and a 3rd Ice Dragon. So it's a 42 card main. Don't think that ever hurt consistency at all. This really didn't ever come up. The Ice Dragons, that was, if it wasn't for Dimension Shifter winning games against Tier, this was the one that, once they mill it, you're just able to take out their, normal Merly, and then whatever they milled. So definitely a card that I recommend if you're going to try and play. Even just playing regular Traptrix, I think that's a 3 of in the main. We'll hop over to the extra deck. We've got the 1 Rafflesia, the 1 Allomeris, the 1 Dweller. Obviously, that's there for your Tier matchup, and I mean, if that can stick and they don't have anything to negate that, again, you're pretty much winning that game. 1 Redoer. We do have a Zeus package, so we've got a Chalconine, a Borbo, and then a Zeus. This did actually come up several times. It's really, really nice. You're able to kind of just, it does give you a little bit more of a go second play. You don't typically get 2 monsters on the board, unless you've specifically drawn a Traptrix and Shade or Traptrix plus the Parallel Exceed. So it kind of just does depend on your hand. But in the instances that you do have that, you are able to kind of make the Zeus play and kind of go from there. 1 Link Spider, this is also kind of mandatory just because the Shade Brigandine, sometimes if you don't draw a Traptrix monster and you're kind of stuck on that, you're still, as long as you have like Shade Brigandine plus Parallel Exceed, you are still going to get, Rafflesia. So you're going to still get some kind of interruption on your opponent's turn. And we do also, so we got the 2 Sarah, the 1 Kularia, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and then I have to give entire credit to Bortles. I wasn't sure on this, but every time I've tested it out, it's really, really kind of fun and interesting. It's kind of like a different version of like a Selene package, so you play a Splash Mage, because you're going to be able to link the Parallel Exceeds into it, and then Splash Mage can actually bring back the Parallel Exceed. And then you can go into Heat Soul, and then Heat Soul, I mean, you can basically, get a free draw, and then as long as you have at least another monster on the board, which you would in order to trigger the Parallel Exceed, you can go into Access Code. So I wasn't sure about it, definitely tried it out, and it works so much better than having to, kind of link climb regularly in Traptrix. I think prior to that, I kind of just accepted that, you should probably do the Utopia route. But with this, now, especially now with, Decode Heat Soul, just kind of being able to get like a free draw as well, I definitely think this is a really good way to go. So I'll move on over to my side deck. I think I had a pretty good board for the current meta, but I think there are maybe a few things I would change. So I did try to play a Scythe package, so I've got the 1 Artifact Scythe, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 3 Traptrix, 3 Sanctum, 3 Evenly Match, and 2 Dimensional Barrier. I don't know if I'd keep the Scythe package. I feel like so many decks are just willing to say, okay, fine, pass turn, and I don't know if it does enough for the deck. I mean, it was definitely nice, it just kind of depends on your hand as far as if you can take advantage of that and win on the next turn. So I don't know if maybe I prefer more like floodgates or just something to prevent them from, winning. I don't know if necessarily the 1 turn kind of lock is the best, but it worked enough. Obviously not enough to do any better than what I did, but I'll have to kind of keep tinkering with it, seeing what I like. Definitely let me know if it's a build that you're interested in playing, and if you have any success with it down below. And I will see y'all guys next time.